2 of Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. As you can see, it's clearly starting out to be a pretty unique movie. The movie starts out like a classic Scooby-Doo episode, except it continues to escalate with how things are going, basically showing that the characters have grown up some. As you can see here, Scooby and Shaggy are separated from the rest of them. Daphne, Velma, and Fred here are basically on death's door, and let's be fair, that's not a small drop right there. That's, even with that being water down there, I still would not want to hit that. You have no idea what's down there. So, you get the hint. Basically, the movie starts out like this in classic Scooby-Doo fashion, but it does actually show that things have gotten worse. I mean, you don't need to be a genius to see that they are in over their heads. And of course, like always, they catch the villain, do their usual explanation, and so on and so forth. And as you can see, this time it actually got pretty real. Look at Fred. He is messed up. And we saw that this guy really was, in most fairness, trying to kill them. This is what really sets the film off, unlike many others, and it sets a completely different tone from the rest of the Scooby-Doo franchise. And of course, we then cut to the present, where it's revealed that Daphne is now a talk show host, basically one of those ones that does a coast-to-coast thing, and here she is with another talk show host doing an interview. And basically, she laments that, that was their last case, and that it got too real for basically to be safe anymore. And it makes total sense. You can only do something for so long before A, it gets kind of boring, or, B, if somebody tries to kill you. And of course, we see that Freddy's stuck with, of course, Daphne, and it makes everything all the better. We also learned that they all took their own path after what was going on. Basically, it was the same dude in a mask trying to complete some crime, yada, yada, yada. And as you can see, Scooby and Shaggy became airport security. Makes sense, all the contraband food would make their day, and, pretty straightforward stuff. And then, of course, there's Velma's bookstore. I swear, just like other people have made a joke, she has got to be right down the street from Ray's occult bookstore. Seriously, it's just got to be that way. And of course, being Velma, she's, knee-deep in books and stuff, but you can also tell that she's bored, and it's made pretty clear. Eventually, though, she gets a call from Fred, and it sets a whole new adventure in motion. And of course, the reunion occurs on Daphne's birthday of all days. I find it pretty good that they all came back, that they all show their support for her and what she's doing, and it makes sense. And of course, Mystery Inc. gets right back with, of course, a good old return of the Mystery Machine. This basically sets off everything. And as the story progresses, we actually do see that they begin to, do what they do. Of course, catching more guys in rubber masks. Seriously. This is becoming a running theme with these guys. You just have to see it. And of course, as always, it just keeps going exactly like that. While Velma's having the time of her life, Daphne is basically like, dang, we don't have anything for our show. This does set up a dynamic, and eventually this leads to meeting this person. Which leads to meeting this young woman. She's basically taking them to a haunted island called Moonscar. And this is where our zombie adventure truly begins. And I have to admit, of course, Fred being Fred, he's definitely got some hormones going on. Seriously, you've got Daphne right there, dude. Seriously, do you have to be this way? Anyways, moving on. And of course, Scooby and Shaggy are, of course, it's pretty obvious, making sure their stomach is well filled. Although, to be fair, that's a little too hot for my taste. Seriously, those peppers look like they could give Godzilla indigestion. And of course, we meet another character, and here's his creepy moment, along with later on a crazy Cajun with a hunting pig. Yes, that's right. I said there's a crazy Cajun with a hunting pig. Let's not spoil the surprise of what he looks like and acts. That would just be too much. And of course, there's now another mystery of why there are so many bloody cats. I like cats, but even I got to admit, these cats have got like this, I'm going to hypnotize you, and you shall give me all the tuna in the world. Don't make me flop you, because I will. Oh yeah, and we also, of course, meet the mysterious and creepy gardener. They just always got to have one of these in every movie now, don't they? Just pointing it out. And of course, we meet the owner. Nothing spooky here, right? Probably not. Although by this point, you're starting to get the hint that just maybe this isn't your typical Scooby-Doo movie. When you see wisps of smoke with light in them actually cutting into the wall, writing words, you might want to pay attention to those words. Just saying. This gives this movie a slightly different edge, especially when Velma comes in and basically cannot debunk the whole sequence. Let's face it, anytime Velma can't debunk something, you've got a problem. Again, anytime you see writing and it says that, maybe you should take the advice and get the hell out. Just throwing it out there, and they're catching this on film too. Again, maybe the advice is sound, Oh, who am I kidding? These kids are going to stay put. And of course, we have the famous history, which comes with all hauntings of Morgan Moonscar. The guy who basically gives this island its name. And we learn pretty quickly that all hell is about to break loose thanks to this dude. And just remember this face, because this is probably going to be our first zombie. I mean, what are the odds? Okay, mysterious hole, skeleton. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
What's going on? I don't know.
Okay, it's official. He's the first zombie, and I should just stop trying to predict this stuff. Needless to say, you've just seen this dude turn from bones to this. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little concerned now. Maybe guys should get out while you still can. And by the way, who dug the hole? Seriously, who dug the hole? Mysterious gardener, anyone? And of course, we're gonna have the famous unmasking sequence. It's the gardener. Probably not, but who knows?
Human. No, it's the ferryman. Oh, maybe it's real.
Okay, I'm holy. Fred just decapitated that dude. There's no way that's a dude in a suit. Let's be fair. It's not like anything bad's gonna happen, right? Who am I kidding? And of course they have Gozer the Gozerian helping them. Of course they would. God, this is gonna get bad for these people, isn't it?
Are you getting all this?
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that. And of course they're from all eras. Although the Flapper guys do look kind of cool in their own weird ways. That a dude from the 70s or is that a pirate? It's hard to keep track. This is not going to go the way everybody wants it.
You hear the screeching of an owl. You hear the wind begin to howl. You know there's zombies on the prowl. And it's terror time again. They've got you running through the night. It's terror time again. And you just might die of fright. It's a terrifying time.
I think by now you're starting to get the hint that these guys are in way over their head. These are people used to dealing with frickin' guys in costumes who have frickin' rubber masks on. And what do we get instead? Frickin' this. There's a lot of frickin' going on. Oh my And wow, that guy's got a big mouth. And, sorry, Civil War dude. Shaggy's got some serious issues right now. Needless to say, the movie just keeps building from here. Now, I could explain more, but let's just say that it would spoil too much. There is a lot of voodoo going to go on. Remember, this is Louisiana. So, expect things like, and of course, I don't know if anybody's going to get this, and I forget with the copying, but the halls. Anyways, this is probably not going to go the way anybody wants. Needless to say, guys, I do recommend this movie. It's got an element that's good for the adults, teenagers that loved Scooby-Doo, and yet still fits into the current Scooby-Doo mythos that's been created in the last several films. However, while I'm not going to say anything good about the sequel slash attempted reboot movie, Return to Zombie Island, which, by the way, really does suck, this one is perfect. Many of its elements here of creating real monsters, real tension, separating the team and bringing them back together were employed in the live action movie too. And I was even surprised they didn't attempt to even adapt this movie. I think a live action version of this would have been fantastic. And this movie still literally rocks to this day. If this movie had just been a little different, this would have gone in theaters. You wouldn't have had to have done too much more, and it would have been a hit. I can attest to this. I'm happy to still own this on Blu-ray. I'm happy to have it. Well, technically DVD. I wish I had this on Blu-ray. That would be freaking awesome. But even on DVD, this actually still holds up very well. Sure, it's Dolby Surround sound, but hey, you know what? I'll take what I can get. The movie also has a direct sequel, with the next one being The Witch's Ghost. And I'm going to say it. This is a good movie. I highly recommend the Scooby-Doo movie to you. If you can find it, if you can get it digitally or whatever, do it. You will not regret it. Again, don't want to spoil too much, and I've actually tried to avoid doing too much, but I think you'll start to get like, whoa, there's a lot going on. All right, guys, like and subscribe, hit the bell notification, and all that good stuff. And remember, happy Halloween. Scooby-Dooby-Doo.